Good day, Ms. McIntosh, and good day to anyone else who might be viewing this video. This video presentation is about theories and religion for the course Comparative Religion presented by myself, Anisha Mongol. So let's get started. Okay, so the objectives for this presentation. I'm going to look at religion according to functionalism theory, conflict theory, feminist theory, and symbolic interactionism theory. And then I'm going to say which view is most relevant today and which one I agree with the most. Okay, so let's talk about functionalism theory first. What is functionalism theory? Functionalism is a theoretical perspective in sociology rooted in works by Talcott Parsons, Robert Merton, Herbert Spencer, and Emile Durkheim. Functionalists focus on the different social institutions that make up society. So, for example, family, education, government, and of course, religion, and the extent to which these core institutions serve society. Durkheim believed that each institution serves a vital role in maintaining order. Each institution is positive and indispensable towards survival and harmony in society. Functionalism seeks to maintain social order, stability, and harmony, and the different institutions cooperate to maintain smooth functioning. So how does functionalism theory view religion? To functionalists, religion is an essential institution in society. Durkheim specifically stated that religion serves a purpose in society regardless of the practices, beliefs, and other sacred components that each religion follows. And what I find interesting about this theory is that there are three functions of religion according to functionalists. The first function is that religion reinforces social unity, cohesion, and stability. Religion acts as an agent of socialization. It provides members of a particular faith with shared beliefs, values, and symbols, and places of worship serve as a communal space for the members of a particular faith to meet and socially interact, which strengthens social bonds. The second function is that religion is a form of social control and strengthens social order. So religion encourages thoughts on morality, fairness, justice, etc., which ultimately facilitates moral behavior. It teaches individuals to behave in ways that align with the beliefs and values of their religion, while also promoting social order. And this is because many times religious beliefs mirror social norms and laws. So, for example, respecting your elders and not committing a murder are upheld in religion and in society. And this encourages individuals to be good citizens. The third function is that religion adds meaning and purpose to our lives. The different aspects of religion, so for example, worshipping a god or reading sacred texts, etc., help people to make sense of the things unexplainable by science. It adds meaning and purpose to the creation of life, the purpose of life, death, and the afterlife. And this is how functionalism views religion. Now we'll look at conflict theory. Okay, so what is conflict theory? Conflict theory is another theoretical perspective in sociology The main contributor towards conflict theory is Karl Marx, and this theory views a society as a constant and unending competition for limited resources. Conflict theorists believe that society is made up of individuals in different social classes that compete for limited social, material, and political resources. So, for example, education, employment, things like that. The two social classes are the bourgeoisie. They are the capitalist class that own most of society's wealth and production. They are powerful but in the minority. And then you have the proletariat class. They are the working class and the poorer individuals who are the oppressed majority. And they clash for resources unevenly distributed among them, but the bourgeoisie has the upper hand, so they use their power, wealth, and resources to their advantage. Essentially, there is an unequal social order maintained by domination and power. So how does conflict theory view religion? Conflict theorists, especially Karl Marx, believe that religion adds to the social inequality and stratification within society. Religion serves the bourgeoisie by posing that individuals should remain content with their existing circumstances because they are divinely ordained. So in that case, religious proletariats do not stand up against oppression because they believe that their conditions and the bourgeoisie's conditions are destined. And what I find interesting about this theory is that it is said that religious institutions add to this inequality by preaching that those in poverty are being tested by God. They say that as long as you pray, it doesn't matter whether if you're poor or if you're rich. Don't give in to material things. Material things do not matter. Just pray and you will be rewarded in the afterlife, right? The greatest reward is given in the afterlife. So it's interesting to see how conflict theory views religious institutions as adding to this inequality. And now we'll move on to feminist theory. Okay, what is feminist theory? Feminist theories also focus on inequality, but more specifically, gender inequality. This theoretical perspective in sociology, with early works by Harriet Martineau, addresses unequal and oppressive gender relations. Feminist theories look at patriarchy and the unfair systematic oppression that women face. There have been multiple waves of feminism highlighting political inequalities, women's rights, diversity, etc. However, despite these variations among the feminist approaches, all waves of feminism accentuate gender relations as the cause for social inequities, and they believe that gender relations are sociological, historical, and subjected to change and progress. Okay, how does feminist theory view religion? Feminist theorists focus on the oppression of women through religious doctrines and the patriarchal organization of religious institutions. Many religions position women as immoral, subordinate to men, and in need of male constraints. And what I find interesting about this theory is that Simone de Beauvoir, a feminist theorist, stated that religion tries to legitimize women's oppression by promising afterlife rewards if they socialize children into religion, although in most religions, women cannot obtain a position in a religious institution. So religion wants women to socialize the children into religion, but they don't want women to hold any positions in a religious institution. Religion is also seen as a way to control women by enforcing stringent rules regarding appearance, duties, behaviors, etc. So, for example, in some religions, women can only dress modestly, whereas men don't have those same set of rules to follow. And that's it for feminist theory and religion. Now we'll look at symbolic interactionism theory. Okay, so what is symbolic interactionism theory? It's a theoretical perspective in sociology associated with works by Max Weber, George Herbert Mead, and Herbert Blumer. This theory looks at society through the subjective meanings that emerge from the reciprocal interactions of people in a social environment. It acknowledges meaning as the center of human behavior and posits that people attach meanings to symbols that are shared meanings to objects, behaviors, events, etc., and communicate these meanings via the use of language. And it's important to understand that subjective interpretation and meaning is at the forefront here, not objective truth. And this is because meanings for symbols are created and maintained through social interaction. So they can be different for people of different cultures. Hence, society is thought of as constructed through human interpretation. All right, how does symbolic interactionism theory view religion? Symbolic interactionism theory actually looks at the micro aspects of religion. So the prior theories, all three of them, were macro or societal perspectives of religion. Now we're going to look at a micro or individual perspective of religion. So symbolic interactionism says that religious beliefs and practices are only sacred because people interpret them as such. People attach meanings of sacredness to religion. And only then do they take on some type of special role or significance in our lives. And we see this in symbols that different religions add meaning to. So for example, the crescent, moon and star in Islam, the cross in Christianity, and the Om in Hinduism. We also see this in their respective rituals. These different groups have associated particular meanings to particular symbols and rituals that are shared among the religious members and strengthens their social bonds. So, we have to also remember that there is a subjective component to this, right? So although, for example, I was trying to think of an example, the Star of David might hold a religious meaning to people of the Jewish faith, but other people might not attribute that same meaning to that star. They might interpret the meaning of that star differently. Also, because religion is given importance by people, individuals can interpret the same religious text differently. All right, so now we'll look at the second objective, asking which theory is most relevant, on which one I agree with the most. So while all the four theories have merit and are certainly present in today's society, I believe that the functionalist perspective is most relevant to our existence today. I agree with this theory because I can clearly see the three functions I spoke about earlier in my own religion. In the most basic sense, religion adds meaning and purpose to life and death. It provides answers to the scientifically and empirically unanswerable. Religion also creates a type of unity, community, a sense of self and tradition. It also offers guidance on how to live morally and meaningfully, and give you solace and salvation in times of distress. If religion as an institution failed, there would be a breakdown in society. For example, if people cease to believe in God or judgment after death, they would tend to engage in a lot of reckless, immoral, or even illegal behaviors, right? No God equals no consequences, which equals a type of mindset, I could do what I want. And this in turn affects other institutions in society. So, for example, criminal justice, family, education, government, etc. Also, if religion as an institution failed, it would critically affect social unity and communication. There would not be any traditions, any festivals, any shared practices, and things of that nature, right? So, religion fosters community and togetherness. And that's my take on the functionalist perspective as being the most relevant. Okay, so that brings me to the end of my presentation. I hope that it was easy to understand and informative, and these are just my references that I used. Thank you very much.